People of the State of Michigan versus Michael Moore, file 2023353. Mr. Moore is here with his attorney, Mr. Bush, and Mr. Gabriel is the prosecutor. We're here today for sentencing on a charge of possession of methamphetamine. He pled to that charge back in April, and the plea agreement involved dismissal of the rest of the charges, and prosecutor recommends a local sentence. Mr. Bush, does Mr. Moore have any objection to continuing on video today for sentencing?
There's no objection, Your Honor.
All right, do you have any additions, corrections, or deletions to the accuracy of the report?
I only have one issue. I met with Mr. Moore at the jail earlier this week and we went over the report. I would ask the court to consider striking the last two paragraphs of the agent's description of the offense, which I think really relate to another offense that he did not plead guilty to.
That's not this offense?
That's my understanding. That's a second offense. I'm not trying to confuse the court, but I think that is.
No, it is. It is. Any objection to that, Mr. Gabriel?
Do you have a page number, Your Honor?
It's on page number 5.
It says, it describes an event that occurred in October of 2019. The sentencing offense that he's here for today occurred in September. So it clearly must be for a different file.
What was it? Yeah. No, I have no objection to striking that last.
All right, those last two paragraphs are removed. Okay. Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gabriel.
No, Your Honor.
Agent recommends that the prior record variable be scored at 90 points, level F.
That's accurate, Your Honor.
I have no objection to that.
I looked at OV12 and I think it's, they're scoring the count. It's just the more serious count of the one he pled to. He wasn't originally charged with both two counts, was he?
Ooh, I have no objection to striking that, Your Honor.
Okay, it doesn't make a difference, but I do think it's improper to score it, sir. 0 points, so it's still level 1. All right, with that, Mr. Moore is on parole and he has spent 330 days in jail before this case has been resolved and set for today. So he gets 0 credit on this case, but I am cognizant of the fact that he's done a year, more than a year, if you count the good time that one gets in jail. Mr. Bush, what would you like me to know?
I was going to point out, Your Honor, that with his behavior, he's become a trustee at the jail. I know that's been mentioned today. I believe he's been a trustee since the 17th of December. Mr. Moore was proud talking to me that he was taking responsibility for that. He shared with me that he has been in custody since December 30th of 2019. His last day, he told me he was a free person. Upon release, he would like to live with his grandmother, whatever date that's going to be. She does have some medical issues. It looks like he may have a job lined up working at the landfill in Jones, Michigan. He tells me he wants to work with community mental health. And even though he's getting to be 30 years of age, he wants to try and reestablish himself as a father figure for his family. So I would ask the court to give him a county jail sentence. I realize he doesn't receive credit for what he's done, but to be mindful of the time he's been in custody.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. What would you like me to know?
Your Honor, I know it's been a crime spree, kind of, it's been one thing after another. I haven't been able to get out to show anybody, what I can and what I am able of doing. I've been on trustee since December. I don't see why there's no reason why I can't hold a job when I come home. If I can deal with the inmates, putting up with them and the COs, being hard on you and stuff, there's no reason why I can't hold a job, and my biggest thing of being in part of my kids' life is I don't want to be that person to be in and out of their life. I want to be able to be in their life and stay in their life. And for me to do that, I know I need to change my people, places, and things. I need to change my surrounding and stuff. And I think going back to my grandmother's house is good for me and her, considering she's not doing too well. She's got a bad heart. She just shattered her arm, so she's not able to do much on her own, and she's living alone. So my main priority is being able to get home to her and make sure things are taken care of, and then get myself together.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. Mr. Gabriel.
Yeah, I would just hope Mr. Moore would reflect on his PSI, the last few involvements he's had with the law. I am really concerned about 10/21/2019 and how those opportunities went. He went to KPEP. He certainly has had plenty of time to think about what he's going to do when he gets out, and I hope we don't encounter his name on another file. If he's serious about what he's going to do, and congratulations, Mr. Moore, have a good life. If he isn't, then I'm afraid I'll be here for a while yet.
All right. So, Mr. Moore, at 30 years of age, you're at a crossroads, like you said. You know, you're concerned about being able to develop that relationship with your family and your kids, that you want to be a role model for them, and you're going to be a role model for them. You want to be a positive role model for them. All right? So that's good. You know, the work that you've done in the jail over the last year, as reflected by the comments of the corrections officers, is towards your credit. You have worked hard, and they don't. I can tell you that they're more than happy to let me know when people have a problem, but I rarely get a report like I got for you that said that you've been doing good. And so that's great. The agent said the writer agrees that this needs to be a local sentence, even though you've been on parole and you've done all these crazy things over the last 2, 3 years, 4 years since you got out. You mentioned several times focusing on keeping your circle of friends small, employment, and following the path of pursuing your goal of owning your own mechanic shop. You have goals for yourself. You know what you need to do. You've been doing it. You need to do it once you get the freedom, and be careful of who you surround yourself with. That's what you say you need to do, and you're exactly right. It says, Mr. Moore knows what he needs to do and just needs to put his words into action. Therefore, it's respectfully recommended that he be sentenced to jail. Now, they've recommended a sentence at the bottom end of the guidelines, but you have spent 330 days in jail. It goes towards your parole. When you get done with this case, you will be turned over to the parole department, and they'll decide what they're going to do about it. But, you know, all this time has gone towards that case. And, you know, it probably, you know, if you'd have been sent back maybe to the Department of Corrections on the first or second or third or fourth parole violation, you would have taken it more serious, but you didn't take advantage of any of those, KPEP or anything. And that's a year and a half ago. So again, you've done a lot of growing in the last year. I understand that. I'm gonna sentence you to 30 days, credit zero, and you can get out and go on. You'll have done a full year in jail because of this case at that point. And if you can't learn from being in the Department of Corrections and being in jail this long that you need to make changes, nothing's going to do it. And if you pick up another charge, like Mr. Gabriel said, you know, the deals of local jail and the deals of everything else. And but for, you know, the Department of Corrections officers' words of on your behalf, and that's because of the work you did, helping them, being a good trustee, being a good worker. You know, that shows me that you're taking this serious. So I'll 30 days, credit zero, consecutive to your parole, $68 state cost, $130 crime victims assessment. I have to order that your license be suspended again. So 1 year license suspended. Lisa?
I just wanted to say to Mr. Moore, I think the last time you were out, Amanda Coney was your agent. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, you've been transferred to Tracy Shabbat, just so you know that. That's going to be your parole agent when you are released, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Lisa. All right, Mr. Moore, you'll be given 3 forms advising you of what your rights on appeal are. I'd ask you to sign 1 copy acknowledging that you received them. If you wish to appeal, you need to fill them out, return them to the court within 42 days. Financial obligations, I order are due and payable immediately. If they're not paid within 56 days, they'll increase by 20%. I'm not ordering any additional court costs, fines, or attorney's fees due to the parole and all your other cases. I just don't need it. Okay?
I understand. Thank you, sir.
All right. Don't waste this. Take advantage of it. Make sure you stay with CMH and your treatment plans, okay?
I am.
All right, good.
Thank you.
Thank you.